Hey friends, welcome back to Christian Podcasting Secrets. I'm your host, Tammy Munson, and I am so excited about dropping this very special Halloween bonus episode. Now, it is not lost on me, y'all, that it is episode 113 that's hitting on Halloween. This is a really special episode because today we are diving into something very special. No, we're not talking about ghosts or goblins or anything else, but we are getting into some scary stuff. Things that freak us out as podcasters. Yes, from background noise to imposter syndrome. Today, my friend, we are tackling those fears and we are walking through them together. Sound good? All right, let's do this. Okay, now we're going to talk about all different kinds of things today. First up, background noise. Kids yelling, construction outside, trains passing by, all of these things can mess up your recording. Usually when I'm recording this episode, or I'm recording any episode, either there's a helicopter involved because I live across the street from a hospital, or there's a train passing by. Guarantee it to happen. But I get it. It's frustrating when your environment just won't cooperate. But here's the thing. Perfection is highly overrated. And you want to know another secret? No one is expecting perfection from you. Because unless you are recording in a soundproof studio with an audio engineer on standby, life is going to happen. So embrace it. Sure, we want to try and minimize the distractions. We want to turn off those cell phone and computer notifications. We're going to silence our phones, record in the quietest and best spot possible. But sometimes things happen, and that is perfectly okay. So let's say you're going along and you're recording and something happens. The dog starts barking. You can't control it. There's not a whole lot you can do about it, right? So just take a pause. Let your little canine friend have his say, take a breath, and restart. Restate your point. Or if you're interviewing someone, ask them to rephrase their answer. This is the beauty of why we record our episodes and that we're editing it. Editing is your friend, y'all. So don't stress about it. Just get it as clean as you can and then move on. And we can always edit around the dogs barking. If I've learned any lesson in 20 years of working with audio files, being a podcaster, being a producer of a podcast, here's the one thing I know for sure. Things won't always go according to plan. It's perfectly all right. Give yourself some grace, restart, and move on. Another big podcaster fear, and I hear this all the time with clients when we are running through their analytics and creating some strategy. One of the biggest fears I hear is, Tammy, no one is listening. I suck. That couldn't be further from the truth. It's a lie we all tend to believe, right? And I know this one hits hard. I hear you. I see you. I feel you. It's a legit fear. But here's the thing. Maybe you're out there, you're pouring your heart into your show, and you're wondering, is this worth it? But let me tell you something. I'm getting a little bossy Enneagram 8 up in the studio today. Even if only one person listens, one, you've made an impact, friend. So let's flip the script a little bit on this. What if instead of worrying about who isn't listening, you shift your focus onto who is listening? Maybe your last episode got 25 downloads. Okay, 25 sounds kind of sad, doesn't it? But guess what? That is 25 people who you probably don't know that have showed up for you. Imagine them sitting in your living room, sitting in your office, sitting in wherever you're recording this episode at. They're showing up. They're eager to listen to what you have to say. That changes things, right? And sometimes, especially if you're just getting started, your numbers are going to be lower because you're still finding that niche. And that's perfectly okay. Because even Jesus taught us about the shepherd leaving the 99 for the one. Matthew chapter 18, verses 12 through 14. Sometimes it's about reaching that one person who really needs to hear your message, especially if God is calling you to do this. The download numbers don't matter. So don't let any of that stuff discourage you from your true calling. So if this is you, I want to issue you a little challenge. This week, focus on engagement over just straight up analytics. Don't focus so much on what the numbers are telling you. Send a message to your listeners. Ask them how the podcast is impacting them and build those relationships. We talked about that a couple weeks ago on the show when we were talking about social media. Now, the next one is a biggie. It's like the podcasting boogeyman. Pretty much every client I have ever worked with has dealt with this in one way or another. I've dealt with it myself. And that's imposter syndrome. Oh, imposter syndrome. It's that pesky little voice that whispers, "Who do you think you are?" Y'all, I've been there. I get it. I used to wonder if I really had what it takes to help people grow their show, to help them create and have successful podcasts. But here's the truth that I learned. Those thoughts were nothing but lies. I once heard, I believe it was John Acuff, he was talking about lies and fears and the things we tell ourselves. And one of the things about fear is that, yes, there's true fear, like a bear is chasing you, and then of course you should be fearful. But the other was the acronym FEAR, and it stood for false evidence appearing real. And that's what imposter syndrome is a lot. And you don't need to feel that way because it's not the truth. Like I said, I've been there. And if you've ever felt I'm a fraud, welcome to the club. Creators and artists and podcasters, we've all felt this way at some point or another. I guarantee it. We may not all admit it, but we all have. And listen, God gave you this calling for a reason. You, my friend, have a unique voice. You have a unique story. And He has equipped you for this work. In 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7, it says, "For the Spirit God gave us does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline." Y'all, imposter syndrome is not from God. Not at all. He has given each of us the tools to walk boldly into the calling He has given us. So embrace that confidence. And the next time that imposter syndrome creeps in, I want you to do this. Write down all the reasons why you are the person for this job. Flip that script from "who am I?" to "why not me?" Now let's talk about another big hurdle that people struggle with, and that is perfectionism. Now, I'm not talking about our little favorite Enneagram 1s and 2s. We all struggle with this from time to time. We stress over the smallest details, right? It's that one dog bark in the background, that one small misstep in our speech, the one tiny error that we think everybody's going to hear, when in fact probably nobody's even noticing it at all. And sometimes we are ready to scrap the whole thing and start over again. But I don't want you to do that. Because here's the truth. It's okay not to be perfect. Like I said, your audience isn't here for 100% perfection, perfect audio. They are here for you. They want to hear your story, your insights, your message. Of course, aim for a great audio listening experience. You want great sound quality. You don't want a whole lot of background noise up in there. But don't let one tiny imperfection hold you back from publishing that episode. Like my friend Allie says all the time, done is better than perfect. Be like Elsa and just let it go. And no, I'm not going to sing on these episodes. I mean, I could, but I'm not. Remember, your goal is to create value for your listeners. And perfectionism is just one other form of fear, false evidence appearing real, trying to hold you back. So if you find yourself going, oh, it's not perfect, I need to make it perfect, and you're ready to record that intro or that outro 6,000 more times, I want you to stop and give yourself permission to publish something even if you feel it's not perfect. I want you to trust that God is working through your podcast, even with the imperfections. So friend, here's the deal. The fear, the imposter syndrome, the background noise, the perfectionism, all of these things are part of the podcasting journey, but they don't have to stop you. And I don't want them to, because we're all walking through this together, and I believe in you. I know that you can do this because I know that God has called you to this, and for the lack of a better phrase, He's got your back. Now, don't forget, if you are looking for more podcasting tips, I want you to sign up for our podcast tips email. You get one tip in your inbox every Tuesday morning. It's going to help you grow your show with confidence and faith and give you a few tips and tricks along the way. And if this episode has helped you, I would love it if you would share it with a friend or leave a review. It really helps us to reach more amazing Christian podcasters like you. So that's all I have for this week. Have a great day. If you're taking your little ones out, be safe. And until next time, I want you to keep creating and keep trusting. And remember, you, my friend, are making an impact one episode at a time. Have a great week. I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye, y'all.